Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. We just finished eating
Marianne's
banana
bread
yes.
and tea and coffee.
Yep. So now our video is about why we don't retire in the Philippines. Someone asked me this before we retired. So why we don't retire in the Philippines. So Johnny will answer that, guys, today.
Well, I will try to.
Yes.
As best I'm able.
Yes. The big reason. What's the big reason,
Well,
Johnny?
there's several reasons.
Yes.
There's several reasons. At my age and stage of life, I'm 76. Medical is a fairly big consideration, and because of my military service, overseas service in Vietnam, I get free medical,
Yes.
free
lucky
hospital, and free dental. Now I can nominate whether I want to go to a public hospital or a private hospital. All expenses paid by the government.
Johnny. Yeah.
And that's the way it should be.
Optical too.
Well, over the last 2 years I've had 2 cataracts removed, one in each eye, which gives me my vision back as though I was still 21 years old. And the cost of each of those operations was around $6,000.
Yeah.
So there you have $12,000 paid for by the government.
Yeah, it's free for Johnny, guys.
Dental, I've had quite a bit of dental work done. There's still more to do. And as we all know, dentists are thieves. But thank God I don't have to subscribe to their theft. The government does. In fact, when I go into a dentist and I say, look, I've got a gold card, Veterans Gold Card, I can almost, do you accept it? They almost jump up and down with joy. I can see them rubbing their hands together because they can write their own ticket.
They can write any amount, guys.
Any amount within reason, and as far as I can see, sometimes out of reason, and I just sign off the work's done and they get paid. But I've spoken to a psychologist actually in recent times, and she said she absolutely loves working for Department of Veteran Affairs because she said there are no questions asked about the money.
Yeah.
And of course that's the way it should be for veterans.
Yes.
I'm a little bit biased, aren't I? It's only pure incident that I'm wearing, coincidence that I'm wearing this shirt. I didn't put it on especially for this.
No.
So
that's the big reason, guys, the medical, because it's not free in the Philippines. And if you're a white person, it will be double price.
yeah. So I think
White person.
if you're a Westerner, of Western origin, right? As Marianne has told me many times, don't come into the shop. She said, because the price goes up on items. She said, you stay outside, and she goes in to buy whatever.
Yeah, Johnny experienced it, guys, with the time we want to buy
Batteries for my mobile phone.
now also the beer. Remember in
Oh,
Sikihor?
it's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. We went into a shop. We were celebrating, I think, our wedding.
Something like
2014, we visited the Philippines after our wedding, and we were putting on a party for Marianne's family and friends.
Yeah.
And so I was buying all the beer, and I think I bought spirits as well, Tanduay.
Yeah.
And we walked into the shop, and I think one of the attendants gave us a price or something.
Yeah. Give Dad's the price.
Gave Marianne's father the price. But then when she saw me hovering around inside the shop,
No, when the time you will pay it, the
Was-
price changed.
yeah, we went to the counter, and I had in my mind what it would cost and worked it
Yeah.
out. And she come up with this inflated figure. I said, no, that's not right. We were quoted a price of this much.
So we did
Oh
not
no,
buy.
she said, I forget what she said, but she was moving the goalposts, and I thought, you don't quote a price, man, to someone, and then you change it
Yeah.
at the last minute. You sort all that out beforehand when you're quoting the price. And I realised she was having a go at me, so I refused. I refused to buy
Yeah,
that
so
shop.
she lost the
She lost the sale,
Yeah.
and we bought elsewhere at a better price,
Yeah, cheaper.
cheaper than what she was offering initially.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah.
So we've discussed medical and dental, and of course, at my age, 76, I mean,
Let's be practical, Johnny.
I've got to be practical, you know. If I had a heart attack or a stroke or something like that, it was going to cost me a fortune in the Philippines.
Yeah, and here it's all free.
Yeah. The other problem too is if we went there to live, we would be living in Sigiho, Marianne's Island.
Yeah.
And
It's a small one.
small island, but the medical attention there, from what we have observed with her family, various illnesses over the last few years, it's bloody hopeless.
Not good, guys.
It's not good, no.
Yeah, we need to travel to Dumaguete by boat.
And you can't get to Dumaguete with the pandemic at the moment, unless you're double vaccinated, and God knows you've got to go through all the rigmarole.
It's very hard now.
You'll be dead by the time you got to the hospital over there. So forget it. Forget it.
Yes.
The other thing is, now Marianne's mentioned here my hobbies.
Yes, Johnny cannot let go.
Well, my hobbies, my first hobby, which I enjoy immensely, is shooting, target shooting.
Yeah.
I don't belong to a club. My experience with clubs and people in clubs is, all right, I'll say it, they're a mob of wankers. A lot of them, not all, but the ones who are wankers sort of mess it up. And that, I first experienced that when I was a kid, about 15, 16, I went along to a rifle club. And I've met a few guys that are in rifle clubs in the last few years, and they're not my type of guy. So, if I would go to the Philippines to live, I can't get a shooting license.
Yeah.
I can't have a weapon over there to enjoy target shooting. Admittedly, in Sigiho, I don't know what the shooting arrangements are there in terms of clubs, shooting clubs, which, as I've just said, I'm not real attracted to. It'd be even worse there, I imagine, because I can't speak the language. But I can't get a gun license there. Yeah.
I can.
Foreigners can't get gun licenses. So that's one hobby down the drain. The other one is I enjoy driving my sports car.
Yeah.
I've always had fast cars. Doesn't mean I drive them fast. I just enjoy the acceleration which they got. I don't drive at high speed, but I just love the feel of a sports car. It's totally different to a normal car.
Yeah. You can't do that in Sigiho.
I can't do that. You know, the roads don't lend themselves to driving a sports car. The traffic doesn't lend themselves to having a sports car. So that's another reason.
Yeah.
Marianne's also written, which is true, I'm not a great fan of Pinoy food.
Filipino food.
I'm not a great fan of that.
I cook Filipino food, guys. Then if Johnny doesn't like it, then he doesn't have food.
It's not true. She cooked me nice things, but I mean there are several Pinoy meals which she does, which I enjoy. There are some which she does which I absolutely abhor.
How about dried fish, Johnny boy? It's a nightmare.
That's one. But we don't have to go into detail on that. And probably the least reason of the lot that I can't live in the Philippines is the service, or the lack of service.
I think you can adapt it.
I probably could adapt to it, but you know, joining queues and waiting hours and so forth. I mean, I've been through the experience of going into a bank there in Dumaguete, and they had all the chairs lined up, and it was like you're at the movies. There are about 5 rows of chairs, 10 or 15 metres in length, all the seats occupied, and all I could see was one teller. There was one teller, and all these people are lined up waiting for hours. They would have to be waiting to go to see the teller. I mean, come on, no.
Yeah, guys,
No.
when we get in that bank and Johnny saw all this, we get out quick.
You kidding me?
No transaction happened.
I mean, yeah, I guess Marianne would do a lot of that. She's far more patient with that sort of stuff than I am.
Yeah, patient with you.
Yeah. But I know sometimes you have to queue, and I think within reason, yeah, I'll do that, but no. Come on, the class. I'm not doing that sort of thing. So that's one reason. The other thing too is we thought several years ago that we would build a house there.
Yeah.
And I was in the building trade. I served, well, I qualified as a tiler for many years. I worked as a ceramic tiler. So I've got certain expectations and a standard when it comes to what I see in terms of wall and floor tiling. And I have been into some really nice hotels in the Philippines, and the level of tradesmanship is very, very poor.
Yeah.
And I think if I were to build a home, I wouldn't accept that level because I know it's not the level which I operate at.
Yeah.
So it means dropping your standards. I mean, I've seen it with joinery, with kitchen cupboards and all that sort of thing, tiling. I just would be disappointed to build a house there because I've built 2 houses in Australia over the years, and we had a lot of problems, you know, or had some problems with various trades, and the builder rectified the work. But I just have this feeling from my experience that the trades are just not up to the standard that I would expect and do expect.
I noticed that too, guys. The building looked good, but the quality is not good.
The quality of finish.
Yeah.
You know, structurally it might be okay, although, you know, my experience with the blocks on the cement blocks which are supplied to Marianne's sister, Mareeba, the bloody things, you have to handle them with kid gloves because if you put them down with too much of a jar, they just crumble.
Yeah,
there's more sand in their goddamn blocks than there is cement.
Yes, guys, the hollow block in the Philippines, you know what it's like, because it's just easily break, because when they do the building, they break it in half or something like that. But here, guys,
there's cement.
The block here, you cannot break it.
You can't. It's the reverse.
Yeah, it's like the block in the Philippines, if you leave it in the weather outside, it will just
starts to
collapse or something.
Well, the elements attack it. There's not much cement in it. But
but in here, guys, my God, how many years Johnny have blocks outside in Mareeba? It's very strong, very, very strong block. Oh my God.
They get stronger.
The longer, the stronger.
They don't get stronger. But I've seen what the standard of blocks.
It's very sandy,
the quality,
not
and
strong.
I think I'd go nuts over there trying to build. The only way I could accept living over there would be to buy an existing place. You see what you've got. Yeah. Okay, the standard is much lower, but to actually go through the process of building and watching guys do finish work which is substandard to my Western way of thinking, no, I couldn't handle that.
Yeah,
and I don't want to be arguing with people, and I'm not a perfectionist in that respect. Just have a standard in the building, and it doesn't come up to my standard. So, and I don't want to have arguments, so I don't want to go through it all.
Look, we have neighbors in Sikihor, an Australian. When they build their house, they make their own.
He made his own blocks.
His own block, the Australian standard, guys.
Yeah, he made his own blocks for the same reason that the ones you buy there just crumble. You know, I know a lot of them. I don't know much about their building standards, but I think they get the block walls up and they pour a certain amount of concrete down the inside of the blocks. I don't know if they put steel inside like they do here.
Yeah, they put
so at least then there is some structural strength inside the blocks, but
yeah, they put it, darling. There's a steel then concrete on the whole of the blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still the blocks is not strong.
No. So there you go. I think that pretty much covers it.
Is that it?
Yeah, it's the notes which you've got here, which I agreed with, pretty much covers the reasons why why we don't live or retire in the Philippines. I love going there, but for me to live there without being able to do my shooting, without being able to have my sports car there,
I think Johnny will just be stressed, guys.
I think I'd become bored.
Nothing to do.
It wouldn't be enough for me. I'm so used to doing this.
Yeah.
And, you know, I have a small collection of guns which I enjoy using. I've got a lovely sports car which I enjoy driving.
Yeah.
I don't drive fast. I do enjoy the acceleration on mountain ranges when I'm able to do it, when there's not any traffic around, which is not very often, but I live in hope.
So guys, Johnny is not ready to let go his happiness.
Mary Anna summed it up very, very well, I guess.
And
Yeah.
guys, we can still afford to live here because we notice lots of couple, American married to a Filipina, they retire to the Philippines because they're just depending on
Social Security
social security that
check
is,
every month to get
that is
Social
not
Security.
enough to live in the US, but big. It's a big money and enough to live in the
I
Philippines.
mean, we could live in the Philippines, we could sell this and we could buy a house. I wouldn't build one. We could buy a house there and live quite happily with sufficient money that I've been able to put away through several businesses I've had over the years. We could live okay. We're not reliant on social security checks or the pension.
Yes, guys, John is not on a pension.
No, I'm self-funded retiree.
He's not qualified because he have lots of assets. I'm the biggest asset, guys. I'm the biggest asset of Johnny boy.
I don't look upon you as an asset.
I'm joking.
I can think of another word at the moment. Well, I can't say it on air. Joking.
Yeah, we're just living on our savings, or Johnny's savings.
On the savings, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's okay. We get a comfortable living.
Yeah.
And one day, if I live long enough and it's all gone, I can get the pension. I can get the burned out digger's pension.
If we run out of savings, we can go to pension, guys.
I mean, soldiers or ex-soldiers, they call them diggers. So I could get the burned out digger's pension.
Yes, yeah. I think that's all. That's all, Johnny boy.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, a few years ago, I aspired. I really wanted to go and live over there.
We also...
But it was probably a little bit of an unrealistic dream because I hadn't really analysed what I'd be gaining against what I'm losing.
Yeah.
I know Marianne, I'm sure she'd be perfectly happy living over there with all her family and that. And I'd be quite happy having all the family around too.
Yeah.
But I don't want to end up drinking myself to death. Because I know that when you become bored and there's not enough to do, you go down the road or at home you have a drink. And this feels good. I'll have 2, 3, 4 or 5.
Yes, nothing to do.
And then you'll be doing it every day.
Yes. Also, before we planned to live 6 months there, 6 months in here, but it would be hard, guys. Leaving this place, it will be a jungle when we come back.
Yeah, I mean, we have discussed that and thought about that, you know, living 6 months, 6 months. But we can't leave this for more than 3 weeks because the growth rate of the grass, the type of grass we've got, I've got to mow every week.
Yes.
I don't know what they call it, cooch or something, but I know it grows a lot damn faster than some of the other lawns, the buffalo lawns. But, you know, you can't go away. I mean, you could get a contractor to come in every 2 weeks and mow, but then it becomes obvious to people around that, oh, no one's living there. There's always, you know, we never see any activity, never any garbage bin out. And word can get out that the house is empty, and that's when you can get break-ins. And
Yeah.
that worries me. I mean, if we were to do the 6 months here, 6 months there thing, which I could accept in terms of my hobby shooting and the car, I could tolerate 6 months or maybe 3 months over there, 9 months here. But I think we'd have to sell this property and get
A small unit.
well, probably get a unit.
Yes.
But then that causes problems for me because I like to do things.
Yeah.
Now I like to service the cars and so forth, and can't do that if you've got a unit. You'll usually just have a 1-car garage, and so there's lots of
Lots
Obstacles get thrown up.
yes.
Mm.
Lots of things to consider, guys. But
And you can't say, oh, rent the house out
Nah.
for 6 months, go over there, come back. Yeah, I've had family that been through the rental system, and sometimes the houses get wrecked internally.
yeah,
And of course you hear horror stories of people who don't pay their rent. They move in, then you need almost like a bulldozer to get them out because the law's on their side. They don't pay the rent and they wreck the house.
yeah,
And I've said for decades I will never rent a house, rent my house out. You know, there's been some horror stories in the family about that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
My sister went through it, rentals, and my brother-in-law, Bill Boffinger,
Yeah.
my father-in-law. You know,
Yeah.
people moved out and they took the refrigerator and the stove with them.
You think
They never supplied them, they just took them.
you think you earn money on the renting, guys, but when they destroy your place,
Property, yeah.
you lose money.
Mm.
Yep.
So, no, that's out. That's out
Yeah.
for me. I'm not a renter.
Yeah.
I mean, I would not make this a rental property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it, guys, and we just hope to visit in the Philippines soon.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
That we can do that, but we have to get this COVID thing
Yeah.
sorted out.
And we're not vaccinated, guys. Like we cannot.
Well,
We don't allow Johnny Boy.
we're thinking seriously in terms of getting the new Novavax, which is available to Australians from about the 21st of February.
Yeah.
2 doses, the third dose is 3 weeks after the first.
Mm.
So we're thinking of getting that one, which is an entirely different proposition in terms of the way it's made to the AstraZeneca and the Moderna and the Pfizer. And there's been a lot of people hanging out for this one. I read something on the news the other day, on the internet news, and doctors were saying that they get many people who have been hanging out for the Novavax, the new vaccine. So yeah, that's where we're at with vaccines. So
Yeah. And we also have plans this year, guys, and if it works, so it will be a long time before we can visit in the Philippines.
yeah,
Yeah. So that's it. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you learn from this or you know us now. Why
Yeah.
we don't retire in the Philippines.
I love the Philippines. I think it's a wonderful country, beautiful people. But probably at my stage of life, it's,
Johnny's not getting younger.
yeah, I worry about something going wrong medically and being stuck on the island of Siquijor with their third-rate hospital. Which I'm not offering any more criticism than what
It's the
Mareeba
truth.
would offer about that
It's
hospital.
the truth, guys.
They build a new hospital, but it's no better. It's
No.
no.
It's not finished yet and it already collapsed, guys. The building.
You know, if you have to get to a really decent hospital, which is about 45 minutes away by the boat, there's no emergency. You know, this
No.
happens at night. You've got to wait for the boat that's running the next morning.
Yeah. It's not good.
It's not good living at my age
Yeah.
on an island situation such as that.
Yeah. So that's it.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for watching, guys. See you in our next video. Bye-bye. Bye, Johnny Boy.
Take care.
Bye, guys. God
Bye.
bless.